Welcome back to Call for Help. It may be the most powerful program that came with your computer, and if you're like me, you probably use it to do gin rummy scoring and maybe an occasional expense report. But Microsoft Excel can do so much more. Mr. Excel is here. Bill Jelen, co-author of Mr. Excel on Excel, has some cool chart-making tips for us. Bill, it's so great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Theo, thanks for having me.
Mr. Excel. I'm going to show, after you do the tips, I'm going to show everybody the Mr. Excel clock you gave me.
Oh, cool.
It's that's kind of like a quiz all in itself. Each number is an
for the true Excel geek.
Excel function.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
First of all, what is Excel? People probably see it on their menu, but they don't know what it is.
Sure, absolutely. It's traditionally used by accountants and finance people. It has 65,000 rows, 256 columns. You can put a number, text, formulas. And what's really beautiful about it is you change one number, all of the formulas recalculate.
So that's really the power of it.
That's the power.
They called it a spreadsheet. In the old days, the accountants would have a piece of paper.
The old grain sheets, that's right.
They'd write out the numbers, but they'd have to recalculate and erase and everything.
And if you realize that the sales were wrong for 15 days ago, you were erasing the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it recalculates in a second.
So there's a whole lot more, though, than just recalculation. We're going to take a look at some of the charting features. But before we do that, we should show everybody your site, MrExcel.com, E-X-C-E-L. People can go here and get tips, information about Excel. You have a message board?
There's a very active message board with about 30,000 questions that were answered last year.
Oh,
if you ask a question, usually within minutes, one of my Mr. Excel MVPs will get you the answer. And
Mr. Excel is in San Francisco tonight. You're going to have a Monday Night Football party for all the Mr. Excel heads. Are there a lot of users here in the Bay Area?
There are a lot.
They're going to go to the Bayside Sports Bar and Grill?
About 20,000 worldwide.
Wow. Really? Members of the board?
Of the board.
Wow, that's really neat.
So.
Now, are you Mr. Excel or is your co-author Mr. Excel? Because there's two people who wrote this book. Joe Rubin wrote it too, right?
Joe Rubin. Joe Rubin is he is one of the Excel gurus in Europe.
Oh, okay.
So I'm claiming.
So he's Senior Excel, and you're Mr. Excel.
I'm claiming the United States.
We'll call him Herr Excel. All right, let's do some Excel charting. Let me close out Internet Explorer so you can show us some Excel charting tips.
Fantastic.
Now, here's for people who've never seen it. That's Excel.
This is
in
Excel.
its plainest form.
That's it. So here we have a simple household budget. You have months going across, various categories down.
And the idea, by the way, real quickly again, is you could change this number and add, and if you had a subtotal here, it would automatically change this number.
Absolutely.
So all these numbers can be changed and automatically recalculated.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't like numbers. It's a lot better to see things visually.
Yeah.
To create
Especially
a chart.
with the budget.
Absolutely. To create a chart, you could go through the menu, but even better than that, a tip from the book, select the data and hit one key, the F11 key.
Well, that was fast.
And instantly we have a chart.
So it just takes the data it sees and it does the best it can.
It does the best it can.
Yeah. And this is pretty good.
It's not bad. I don't like it a whole lot. I hate this gray background. It really wastes toner on my laser printer.
Okay.
And some of the colors really frustrate me. And so initially I was frustrated with that. But good news, we can customize absolutely anything in this chart. You can simply right-click. I'm going to right-click and say Format Plot Area. And we can change it to white. Or you could do something cooler. We could come up with a gradient.
This would be good if you're doing the Grateful Dead financials. You could make it very psychedelic.
Say okay.
There you go. Oh, actually, that's prettier.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
It's not going to save you any toner, but it's prettier. That's neat.
Over on the right-hand side, we have these axis numbers.
Now, those were the numbers that were in your spreadsheet. That's where it pulled those from.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if you have really large numbers, like financials for a data, or financials for a company, we might want to customize those and show those in thousands. This is totally non-intuitive. But this secret format, comma K at the end, says that we're going to print those numbers in thousands.
Oh, that's neat.
It saves some space.
2K instead of 2,000.
Right.
Is that in the manual, or how did you find that kind of thing out?
Oh,
it's probably buried somewhere deep, right?
Right. Probably found that.
Manual. The manual's 12 pages. I don't know where you.
You have a manual?
Yeah. No, actually, I don't. As a matter of fact, it doesn't come with a manual.
You can change the default colors they use. You can add data labels to the top if you want to see the values.
Oh, to each bar?
To each bar, so you can see exactly what those numbers are.
Now, you did that by right-clicking only on the red bars, so it only added the numbers to the top of the red bars.
That's
so you
right.
could highlight something that you wanted people to pay attention to.
And if there was a number that was really strange, for example, you had a high housing expense in 1 month, you could select the entire series, single-click again, and change just the color of
Oh, that's really neat.
Of that bar.
Say, folks, pay attention. This yellow one is the one we're looking at.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll have to do that for my wife's clothing expenditures. Here's the shoe bar, honey. All right, very cool.
Great.
Very cool. What else can we do with this?
Okay, some other things. Excel is great at formulas, but sometimes you don't even need a formula. If the boss calls and he wants to know how much revenue did we have, you can highlight the cells, and right down here in the status bar, we see the total.
Oh, it's already there, because I would press the sum button and create a sum, but it's already there.
That's right.
Oh, that's neat. And it's not just sum, right?
It's even better. If you right-click that, you can change it to show the highest number, the lowest number, the average.
I have been using Excel literally for 10 years, and I never knew that.
There you go.
And it's been there all the time.
All
I
the
just
time.
never noticed it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Exactly.
Look at that. Max, min. Okay.
Hold it.
One more.
Here's one more tip. If you have, lots of times people in companies will have data that they get from the mainframe or wherever, and it's just, it's a lot of data. This particular data is customer, product, date, quantity. I'm going to show you how to subtotal with just a few clicks. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the data is sorted in customer order. So we have A, B, C, B, C, D.
So you click on the column you want to sort, and you press that sort button.
The A to Z button, right? And I'm going to go up to the menu and say Data, Subtotals. At each change in customer, I'm going to use the sum function to sum quantity and revenue. Click OK. And literally in less than a minute, I've added 26 subtotals.
It added them. See, I've been inserting rows and putting the
Right. This would be 26 formulas, and literally in just a few seconds we put it.
And then it looks like it put on the left here some sort of.
These are the group and outline buttons, the 1, 2, 3. And this is really cool. If you just need to see the subtotals, I'm going to click the 2, and it's going to show me just the subtotal rows. It hides all the other rows.
I feel like I've been kind of. I feel terrible. I feel like I have done a disservice to Excel by never having used it to its full potential. But that's where Mr. Excel comes in. For more tips, pick up a copy of Bill's book. I'm going to read it now. Mr. Excel, that's great, on Excel. It's at your local bookstore, Barnes & Noble and Borders, both.
Barnes & Noble and Borders, online.
Online, of course, at MrExcel.com. And since we didn't get in all of his wonderful tips, we got 2 more secret Excel tips on our website, techtv.com/call-for-help.
Thanks, Leo.
Really nice to meet you, Bill.
I appreciate it.
Man, I love that stuff. Coming up next, it's time to give a batch of new contestants